Today we have so many Pokemon Winds and Waves leaks to cover, and now I don't even know how to properly format this video because I swear there are so many different pieces of information today, and I cannot wait to talk about this, and it just makes me that much more hyped for Pokemon Winds and Waves. Okay, so first I gotta talk about this post that Silver Art made talking about how it's interesting that they introduced this new character with Ditto together. If this girl is from Generation 10's region and has a Ditto, this might go a long way in connecting Horizons to Winds and Waves and connecting the Pokopia game to the mainline canon. Pokopia was apparently originally a playable feature in Wiwa before it was split and made it to its own game, so its plot may naturally be a leftover artifact of its role in the original Wiwa plot. For example, Pokopia's post-apocalyptic Kanto was destroyed by extreme weather, which is very tied to Winds and Waves' potential theming / premise of surviving the forces of nature. Horizons could begin to reference these themes in the typical anime-poke fashion of them not being a one-to-one adaptation but their own parallels of the game's canon. That is crazy. I actually did not know that Pokopia was originally supposed to be a playable feature in Winds and Waves. That's actually crazy, because we do know that the Generation 10 Battle Evolution gimmick should be related to weather in some way, shape, or form. We're not really exactly sure yet, but of course I'll let you guys know. And before we get into all of the big leaks and the rumors and the news today, I'd really appreciate if you guys could subscribe to the channel to help reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers. And so you don't miss all brand new Pokemon news, leaks, and updates. Alright, let's hop right into it. So Ball Guy responded to that tweet that I just read you guys and said this, posted a picture of Navi and said, "Go by, not Avatar Navi, it is actually from Zelda." So a quick description, it's a fictional fairy who acts as a series protagonist, Link's navigator throughout the Nintendo 64 game Ocarina of Time. And basically, Navi performs a variety of functions within the game, including being a companion and a guide to Link, providing the player with advice, and being a focal point in the game's Z-Lock targeting combat system. Okay, so obviously Ball Guy's response here is very vague. We don't really exactly know specifically what he means, but of course we just read that little description, so it seems like Navi, so maybe like Ditto is going to be this character's guide, and maybe through the anime could be related to Pokopia, of course. Now I wanted to show you guys this because it's just very interesting, and I want to know your thoughts about this, because I kind of want to like theorize more and make another video about this specifically, just because I feel like there's a lot of different things that this one could actually mean. We do have some funny responses. Somebody said, "What does Navi have to do with this?" Somebody said, "What's the point of this? Don't be a coup," which is referencing Riddler Coup, who teases stuff and like never tells us what it actually specifically means. Somebody said, "Is that the fish?" So like I said, it seems like a lot of people are kind of stumped on what this means, but let's move on to the other stuff, because we just have so much to talk about and cover today. Somebody asked if she's actually going to be connected to the new Mon, which I don't know if that means that fish Pokemon that we covered the other day. I don't know if this is going to be a different new Mon, maybe like the seed Pokemon. And Ball Guy responds to that and essentially just said, "Spot on." Like, that's exactly what this new character is. So she is going to be apparently related to a new Pokemon. Like I said, I don't know if it's the fish, the flying fish, which would be really cool. And speaking of that flying fish, I thought of the biggest reach of a theory of all time. So we have the Gyarados looking cloud up in the air of the Winds and Waves trailer, right? Which I have my videos about, but basically that should be Gyarados, at least a lot of people think it is. What if this fish Pokemon is a pre-evolution to Magikarp? Obviously, that's not gonna happen. Like, this fish Pokemon is definitely not Magikarp's pre-evolution, because I don't think Magikarp would ever need or have a pre-evolution. I just thought it was kind of hilarious thinking about the idea of Magikarp being a mid-stage evolution and not the first stage to Gyarados. But I really do wonder what this fish Pokemon is going to turn into, because it seems like it could turn into a beast. I guess we'll have to see. And this question was in response to this, which we covered many times, and basically what we think this means is actually them revealing a new Pokemon before Generation 10 comes out. But I have more about this in today's video too. Like I said, today we just have a lot of different stuff. It's kind of like hard to put it all together because it's a lot. Okay, so in response to that birdfish, somebody said, "Will next month's CoroCoro be anything new or nothing major?" Ball Guy said CoroCoro hasn't done game-exclusive reveals since a decade ago, and no presentation is planned. Expect nothing on that front, which I do believe CoroCoro originally revealed Mega Evolution. I think that's what he is kind of talking about. So could you imagine if CoroCoro actually revealed the next new Battle Evolution gimmick again? Like, that would be super cool, but I don't even know anymore. I'm like all over the place on what I think. Oh wow, I was expecting a new Pokemon altogether. I thought they'd share exclusive news with CoroCoro again for the 30th anniversary, so really no news about Winds and Waves this year. Let me reiterate my reply. It's not improbable that a small marketing push could be done with them, but I find it incredibly unlikely because the surrounding circumstances at this time. And that message that he just sent basically means that it's not impossible, like it's not completely unlikely that they're going to give new info to CoroCoro again, but it's probably not going to happen, but it's like a maybe type of thing. Was the reason for delay a decision from Nintendo or the Pokemon Company? I've not heard definitive answers. We might never receive one at this rate. I'd imagine insiders don't know. It had to be as important as EA and the Switch 2. Different situation, reasoning has been provided. And so like we've been talking about, the CoroCoro stuff, like are they going to reveal new information? Because CoroCoro right here apparently confirms news is coming for Winds and Waves. Where's the info? Right side of the page, the yellow-green text box, what it says, follow-up news on the completely new work, Pokemon Winds and Waves, which follow-up news is not just a recap. I just don't see why they would recap news that we already know about. So even if it's something really small, like a very, very minor new detail, a new update, that would be great. But then we have Fall Guy saying he's not anticipating any information for the remainder of this year. Somebody else then said, didn't you imply in one tweet that we could have a Zoroark Togepi style reveal in the anime a generation before? That's technically new info. What makes you so sure that we won't get any news this year? Fall Guy responded to say, the tweet strictly referred to a presents or a press release with new game information. So that message to me is low-key very confusing, because he said the tweet strictly referred to a presents or a press release with new game information, and I don't know if he's talking about this picture where we all thought, you know, with all like the early reveals of specific Pokemon, which we all took as they're going to reveal new Pokemon early, or I don't know if this tweet he's talking about is responding to his previous tweet right here saying he's not anticipating any information for the remainder of the year as far as a new Pokemon presents or a new big press release. So this new information, he might be just saying we're not getting any new information directly from Pokemon or Game Freak or Nintendo themselves, but rather we could still see it as like a CoroCoro magazine reveal where they're going to reveal something like maybe a new Pokemon, maybe that fish Pokemon. It could be literally anything. It could even be the professors, the battle evolution gimmick. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that is where they originally showed off Mega Evolution, you know, years and years ago. But then we also have Central Leak saying that, according to the same leaker who has accurately leaked multiple Winds and Waves details, including the starters, we won't have news about the games until 2027. I believe this information, once again, is the same stuff that we've covered from Ball Guy over the last couple of days. The thing is, Ball Guy is very reputable, so pretty much almost everything he says does actually happen. Obviously, when it comes to these type of things, stuff may change or be altered and actually not happen, or it could still happen, right? Recently I did talk about how it would just be very odd if they did not give us new information for Winds and Waves this year, just because, like, why not? Like, why wouldn't they? You'd think they'd want to keep up the hype, especially since we have nothing coming out this year for Pokemon, at least nothing they have announced yet. They could totally drop another game, Generation 2, Gen 3, like I said, later on this year. I feel like that's unlikely, but not totally unlikely. Like I said earlier, today's leaks were kind of confusing because Ball Guy has just been very mysterious with his tweets recently, and it's hard to exactly pinpoint specifically what he means unless he specifically states exactly what he means. That's where the fun comes in. That's where the stuff gets really interesting, and the fun part about it is just theorizing and coming up with different ideas of what this could mean. But overall, it does seem like this new character with Ditto is going to be connected to Pokopia and the anime and Winds and Waves, connecting them all together, because that would just make a lot of sense. And I think we will get new Pokemon reveals before Winds and Waves comes out. Like, I do think we will have some in Pokopia, like Generation 10 Pokemon in Pokopia. Probably not a lot, probably like literally a couple, 2 or 3. And I definitely do think the anime will reveal a Winds and Waves Pokemon. I swear that has to happen. It would be really cool if it's the fish, the flying fish, man. That would be a cool Pokemon to see in the anime. I could totally just see that being one of those derpy Pokemon that turns into a awesome Pokemon. I would love to know all your thoughts and all your theories about this, because I'm low-key stumped. I'm just like all over the place thinking about what is this, how is this connected to this piece of information. It's all over the place right now. So let me know exactly what you guys think, especially with this Navi thing. Like, what the heck does this mean? Go by Navi from Zelda in reference to this character. Like, is the Ditto Navi? Like, is this gonna be the seed Pokemon secretly? Like, is this Ditto gonna turn into the seed Pokemon? Is this character right here referencing a new Pokemon or something? But anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next, so make sure to like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you are real watching this far in the video, comment down below your favorite type of waffle. You know, we got blueberry, peanut butter, chocolate chip, protein, plain. We got all of the above. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.